everybody, and welcome back to another Pokemon Challenge video. Last time, I asked the question, just how much extra money would you make if you beat all of Pokemon Crystal only using the move Payday to deal damage? And that video was a ton of fun to make, and the answer was nothing like what I was expecting. So if you haven't seen that yet and you're interested, definitely go check that out after you're done watching this video. Since I made the Payday video, I've come up with a ton of really unique and awesome ideas for future Pokemon Challenge videos. And I'm really looking forward to doing those. And if you're interested in that sort of thing, don't forget to subscribe so you can be here for those in the future. And of course, if you enjoy this video at any point, don't forget to click like. But this time around, I wanted to do something a little more simple. I thought, why not do a solo run? Because since I did the Payday run, Pokemon Sword and Shield have been released, and with the 8th generation of Pokemon, there has been over 75 awesome new Pokemon that were added to the lineup. And they're some of the strongest Pokemon that I've seen in a long time, design-wise. So I thought, why not try to beat Pokemon Sword and Shield only using my favorite new Pokemon to beat the game. And just who is that favorite newcomer of mine? Well, that would be the Stonehenge, Big Rock, Power Spot, Yellow Polka Dot, Pokemon Stonjourner. I fell in love with this new Pokemon almost immediately upon seeing his big legs and his little rock face. And ironically, this was the last new Pokemon I ever came across, because my first playthrough was on Shield, and it's a Sword exclusive. Stonjourner is so obscure that it's only able to be found in 2 areas in the entire game, not counting max raid battles. Both of those being towards the end of your adventure. So I would love to showcase Stonjourner in an entire video by beating Pokemon Sword only using a single Stonjourner, because I'm sure a lot of you guys don't even really know what he's about. Heck, I even liked Stonjourner so much when I first saw it that I made it my mission for it to be my very first shiny Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield. And I did just that. I boxed 300 eggs, and on my 294th, my first shiny Pokemon at Gen 8 was a shiny Stonjourner. And then my second was also a shiny Stonjourner on egg number 300. So that's what this whole video is going to be about. Can I beat Pokemon Sword only using a single shiny Stonjourner without any items in battle? Let's find out! So, being one of the more obscure Pokemon of this generation, it's possible a lot of you may not know what Stonjourner is even about. Or think to yourself, hey, this is gonna be super easy. It has a really high attack stat. Are you in for a treat, my friend? Stonjourner is a monster when it comes to its HP, attack, and defense, being 100, 125, and 135 respectively. And its speed isn't too bad either, being 70, which is pretty good for this generation. And while it has a unique ability in Power Spot, it doesn't do anything for Stonjourner itself, meaning it basically has no ability for a solo run. But if that wasn't bad enough, Stonjourner is tied with Caterpie, Weedle, Igglybuff, Magikarp, Carvana, and Attack Form Deoxys for the lowest special defense of all Pokemon in existence, with 20. Stonjourner has 20 special defense. Almost any special move will knock him out, and there's nothing you can do about it. Luckily, Stonjourner has a pretty decent move pool. It learns Rock Polish really early on at level 6, and the shiny I bred has the egg move Curse, which could prove fairly useful. As for the rules of this challenge, they are fairly straightforward. I'm not allowed to use any items in battle. This excludes Pokeballs for catching a double battle partner, and any held items are also fair game. There are a couple forced double battles in the game where I have to have another Pokemon with me no matter what. But this Pokemon's not allowed to move. To stall their turn, I'll use an item from my bag that will have no effect, such as a revive on Stonjourner, who is functioning still. By doing this, that item won't be used up, but the turn will be, therefore resulting in the use of no items. The challenge begins the moment I have access to trading, so I can trade my starter for my shiny level 1 Stonjourner I have ready on my shield file. With all that out of the way, let's jump right into this and see if I can beat Pokemon Sword only using a single Stonjourner. I start a brand new file on my Pokemon Sword copy and begin my adventure as a young boy named Werner. Not Werner, Werner, like Stonjourner. I then get the opportunity to pick my very first Pokemon. I choose the Fire Rabbit Scorbunny. By doing this, it makes the run as difficult as possible. My rival Hop will have a Grass type, which is super effective against Stonjourner, and Champion Leon will have an Inteleon, which is also super effective against Stonjourner. Once I obtain the ability to trade and catch a throwaway Choodle, since I do need 2 Pokemon, my friend Duncan helps me trade my shiny Stonjourner named Katinka from my Shield file over to Werner on my Sword file. Fun fact, this Stonjourner has an adamant nature, which is awesome, right? But she also has an attack IV of 0. That's a big yikes for this run. After a quick stop to change out that horrendously ugly starter outfit and to release the Choodle, forgetting I need a second Pokemon later, I knock out a Wild Rookity to get Katinka leveled up a little bit. Heading through the wild area to Motostoke, we register for the gym challenge and pick our uniform number, Stonjourner's national dex number of 874. Or what would be its national dex number. No, yeah, let's continue. Before we can leave town and really get this adventure with Stonjourner started, we have to defeat a couple of Team Yell Grunts and our rival Hop, both of which are really easy at this point in the game, but that will not be the case for much longer. Once in the Galar Mines, we grab the TM for Rock Blast, which is incredibly useful for almost the entire game. Our first major roadblock also takes place in the Galar Mines, against Pokemon Trainer Bede. See, Bede uses all Psychic-type Pokemon, prolific special attackers, meaning I can't really use Curse here to set up, as one Confusion from Solosis does over half of my health. Luckily, you can buy Oranberries early on, which gives us a small bit of recovery in battle. For this fight to go in our favor, it took about 15 minutes of losses, getting Katinka from level 10 to 15. This allows us to barely take 2 Confusion from Solosis. I start by using Curse, raising my attack and defense and lowering my speed all by 1 stage. I use this to get our attack up a bit, and Confusion does just under half. I then use Rock Polish to get my speed out of the negative and up to +1, since Rock Polish raises your speed 2 stages. The second Confusion brings us down to just 15 HP after the Oranberry. Rock Tomb one-shot Solosis. Rock Blast gets a lucky critical hit, 2-shotting Gothita, and all that's left is his ace head-on. Rock Blast needed to hit 3 times, which it did, securing us the victory. Bede will only be getting more difficult to beat from here on out. Even though my chances are incredibly slim, I make my way for the first gym immediately. We're able to beat the gym trainers with no issues at all, but Milo likely will be a much different story. My only chance here is to get enough attack to one-shot both of his Pokemon in our Dynamax state. The problem is his lead has Magical Leaf, a special attacking super effective move. We're very underleveled at this point, being level 16, but we managed to take Gossifleur down with a couple Rock Blast hits. And his ace Eldegoss then takes the field. We have no choice but to Dynamax and use Max Rockfall. This summons the Sand, which gives all rock types a 50% boost to their special defense. While this isn't much for somebody like Stonjourner, we need all the help we can get. Unfortunately, because we used Curse, Eldegoss outspeeds us and is able to use a special attacking Max Overgrowth and take us out. I know we're too low of a level to beat the gym right now, so I go clear out a few trainers I had skipped and come back at level 18. Even though we are still underleveled, we can do this if the stars align. I start by using Curse, and Gossifleur fortunately uses Rapid Spin. This being a physical move and resisted only does 1 singular damage point to me. With luck like that, this is possible. I Curse a second time, putting myself at +2 attack and defense, and it uses Round. While this is resisted, it still does a lot more than Rapid Spin as it is a special attack, but it still is more ideal than Magical Leaf. By cursing a third time, I'm at +3 attack, but we are very, very slow. Magical Leaf strikes, putting me down to 19 hit points after the Oranberry, but luckily Gossifleur uses Rapid Spin again, twice, and I'm able to get 2 Rock Polishes off, putting me at +1 speed and +3 attack and defense. Now is my time to strike. I Dynamax and go for Max Rockfall, easily knocking out Gossifleur in a single shot, but I'm sitting at 26 hit points in my Dynamax state, and if I don't knock Eldegoss out in a single shot, We may be here for a long time. I max Rockfall. And +3 was not enough. Eldegoss survives with just a sliver of health remaining, and Eldegoss strikes me down with a max overgrowth. But I lived it? It had to have used a physical max overgrowth! Oh my god, we got so lucky! And Max Rockfall once more is able to secure ourselves the grass badge. Only 7 to go. So, to continue on, I need a second Pokemon to fight the forced Camera Crew double battle. Nurse Joy keeps telling me about a Pokemon at Wedgehurst Station, so I head over and catch a Galarian Slowpoke who I later name Ace. Hub challenges me on the bridge, and it goes really well, actually. But this won't be the case for much longer. And then I reach the town of Hulberry. Just like with the grass gym, I'm in way over my head. But I go inside and see what we can manage. Once again, the gym trainers go easy enough. But Nessa, on the other hand, oh my goodness, Nessa, let me tell you. We lead with our level 22 Stonjourner, and I go for the usual strategy of Curse. But her lead Goldeen is packing Water Pulse, which does way over half and even confuses me. I've cursed twice, but we're just no match for this Goldeen at this point. But apparently I'm crazy, because I keep trying over and over again. I'm just not going to overlevel and be done right away. I'm gonna see if I can get this done as low as possible. I start by using Rock Blast to get rid of Goldeen immediately. It takes 4 hits, but I definitely can with Rock Blast. Next is Barracuda. I take this opportunity to use Curse, since it's a physical attacker. But, to my surprise, it has Whirlpool. But it missed me. I then Rock Polish, and after getting hit with the second Whirlpool, my Oranberry procs, and I Rock Tomb Barracuda. Are we actually gonna do this right away? I think to myself as Dreadnought comes out, and I Dynamax. It's now or never. I'm +1 speed, +1 attack. Max Rockfall needs to be a 2-hit KO, since I can take at least 1 hit with the sand being summoned. We're both Dynamaxed, and Max Rockfall does over half. If I can take just 1 hit from this thing, we will have dodged a massive hurdle in just a couple tries. It blasts me with Max Geyser, and we live with 1 hit point remaining. And with our +1 speed, this fight is... Oh my god, it has its hidden ability, Swift Swim! Are you kidding me? This fight just got a lot harder. There's no way I'm getting this done at only level 22. But I think this just proves it's definitely possible. We just need a little bit more behind us. After fighting some trainers I had skipped and exploring the wild area for berries, I grabbed a few citrus berries. Katinka is now at level 26, and I think we can now do it. My strategy is the same as it was before. We need to get the Goldeen out of here turn 1. Unfortunately, we only hit twice and Goldeen sets up an agility, so I take this turn to get the rock polish off that I need later. This will allow us to outspeed Goldeen next turn and finish it off, meaning this was the most optimal time to use it since it was going to hit me anyways. There's no turn lost here. I now Rock Blast Barracuda and take it out in 2 shots. We don't have any curses though. I'm relying on being able to 2-shot this Dreadnought without it, and have the Rock Polish speed be enough to outspeed it while it's in the rain. We both Dynamax, and Max Rockfall does almost exactly half. This very well may be a roll. Max Geyser brings me just to 44 hit points after the Citrus Berry and summons the rain. But with the Rock Polish, we outspeed and knock Dreadnought out once and for all, securing ourselves the Water Badge. 6 to go. With the next gym leader being something we finally are not weak to, but also super effective against, we can almost rest easy for a bit. But not without first fighting Bede once again. He leads the same and has a new addition in his Galarian Ponyta. I taught Katinka the TM for Brutal Swing, a 60 power Dark-type attack, and I use Rock Polish turn 1, using a Citrus Berry this time. We get brought up to 60 HP after the Psybeam, and Brutal Swing is enough to knock out all his Pokemon in a single shot. I'm really glad that was easier than it looked. Our first fight with Marnie isn't as easy as I expected either. She has 2 fighting types, and while Krogunk is an easy KO with the TM move Sand Tomb, her Scraggy has Low Kick. Stonjourner weighs almost 1,200 pounds. That's gonna hurt no matter how good our defense is, and at this point I don't have a reliable way to damage fighting types. It's gonna rely on Stonjourner getting enough hits in with Rock Blast. I curse against Croagunk twice and then Rock Polish, bringing my speed back up to, well, speed. I then Sand Tomb and one-shot Croagunk, and Rock Blast takes Scraggy to red. I predict her using an item here, so I Rock Polish once more to ensure that I outspeed her Morpeko. Rock Blast once again fails to hit 4 times, bringing us down to 11 hit points as Scraggy falls, and her ace Morpeko comes into play. I Rock Blast, and luckily we do outspeed, and 2 hits are enough to secure us the fight. It's time for our 3rd gym leader already, the Fire-type gym leader, Kabu. I don't Dynamax as I don't feel I need to. Heck, I didn't even heal. A lucky Will-O-Wisp miss twice helps us Rock Blast our way through Ninetales, Arcanine, and of course we one-shot the Gigantamax Centiskorch as well. It's weak to rock 4 times after all. We get the Fire Badge from Kabu. Only 5 to go. I reach Hammerlock and get ourselves a haircut, and then reach Stow on side. I make sure to grab the Rocky Helmet as our defense stat will make this item invaluable. We very easily beat Hop once again, but this will be our last clean battle with him, as from here on out his team becomes much more difficult for Stonjourner to handle. Once again, I easily clear out the gym trainers and come face to face with B for my very first time. I first attempt the gym at level 35. I start off by using Curse, weakening their physical moves and powering up mine, but Revenge still does about 1/3 of my health. However, I commit to it and continue using Curse. During this time, the Rocky Helmet is dealing consistent damage to her Hitmontop, but with no form of recovery, I can't keep this up and end up going down to Pangoro's Bullet Punch. Eventually, through trying multiple times, I reach level 37 and given a Guava Berry over the Rocky Helmet, or some form of recovery. Katinka also learns Rock Slide in this process. I start as I have been, by using Curse. After using 4 of them, my Guava Berry procs, putting me from 18 to 60 hit points. I then Rock Blast Hitmontop. Since it's using Revenge, it outspeeds and I knock it out. Currently sitting at +4 attack, defense, and -4 speed, I need to fix that speed issue. So I go for a Rock Polish on Pangoro, and it goes for Circle Throw, not doing a whole lot. Rock Polish again puts me back to neutral speed, and I'm sitting at 32 hit points. But I want more attack, so I Curse one final time. I only have 14 hit points, but I have a plan. Rock Blast outspeeds because Circle Throw is decreased priority just like Revenge, and Rock Blast knocks Pangoro out. Through my attempts, I saw this Sirfetch'd likes to use the move Detect. So I take this turn to risk it and go for Rock Polish to get my speed back up and up to +1. And it does go for Detect, and I get a free speed raise. I now Dynamax and Max Rockfall clears Sirfetch'd out with my monstrous +4 attack. I have 26 hit points remaining while Dynamaxed, and if I don't one-shot this Machamp, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Her ace Machamp takes the field and Gigantamaxes. I know it resists Rock, but I have no other choice. We are +5 attack. Let's make this move. Max Rockfall blasts the Gigantamax Machamp down to red. It's over from here. G-Max Chi Strike blasts me down to 6 hit points, and one last Max Rockfall ends this 2-hour struggle. B is defeated and the fighting badge is obtained. 4 to go. Immediately after the gym, we have a rematch against Bede. He's caused us a lot of issues in the past, but I try the same strategy that worked last time. Brutal Swing right out of the gate. I one-shot Duosian, but Hatchram lives a Rock Slide and strikes me with a Psybeam. But we've survived with 55 hit points remaining, and Brutal Swing knocks it out. Gothorita survives a Brutal Swing and also hits me with a Psybeam. But we live with only 3 hit points remaining, nice! And Ponyta goes down to 1 shot. First try! I run straight to the next gym, fully expecting to not stand a chance. See, what do Fairy-type Pokemon have in common with Bede? They are usually special attackers. Stonjourner no likey special attackers. Regardless though, at level 40, we lead against Opal's Weezing, and Rock Slide causes a flinch. After answering a question from Opal correctly, we essentially get a free Rock Polish in +2 speed, and Weezing uses Fairy Wind at the 5th gym. Laugh all you want, it still almost did half. I take a turn to Curse since our speed was raised, then Brutal Swing finishes Weezing off. Mawile comes out next, intimidating us, getting rid of the attack I just gave myself. But a new question being correctly answered raises my defenses. And on top of another curse, our defense is looking pretty solid against Mawile. Draining Kiss only took me down to 40 hit points. With our speed being neutral, I want to ensure we outspeed everything left. So I Rock Polish one last time as we drop to 21 hit points. Now, we Dynamax! If I can beat this gym on the first try, that would be massive, as I expected this to be incredibly difficult. In our Dynamax state, we only have 32 hit points remaining, but luckily Max Rockfall is enough to take out Mawile and the incoming Togekiss in one shot, only leaving one Pokemon of hers remaining, and one turn of our Dynamax remaining. It's her Gigantamax Alchemy. Can we really one-shot this thing, only being at +1 attack? Probably not, but by telling Opal she's 16 years old, she gives us some more attack that we probably needed. And we're able to Max Rockfall the Gigantamax Alchemy down in a single shot. Securing ourselves the Fairy Badge, only 3 to go. Next stop is somebody who would probably really like what we're doing. But before we can go pay him a visit, we have Hop to deal with once again. After losing for almost 15 minutes straight, I finally had a strategy all figured out. He leads with his Trevenant, which can use the move Confuse Ray, which turns the entire fight into a gamble. I need to get enough curses down though to one-shot his Rillaboom. If I don't do this, he'll lower my speed with drum beating, causing me to lose the fight. I gave Katinka a Rindo Berry I found in the wild area, which makes us no longer weak to grass-type attacks for a single turn, allowing me to get a free curse off essentially when Trevenant uses Horn Leech. I then Rock Polish and get confused. This tends to be typical in this fight, but I didn't have a berry for that at this time. I luckily Rock Polish one more time and even get another curse off. Katinka isn't hitting herself. Nice! And I need this one final curse, which I get. She should snap out of confusion next turn. Sitting at almost exactly half health, we snap out of confusion like I said, and knock out Trevenant with a Rock Slide, and in comes Rillaboom. We're at +3 attack and defense and +1 speed, and I go for a Body Slam. This knocks Rillaboom down to an exactly 1 hit point, but we paralyze it. Body Slam's able to finish it off without Rillaboom doing anything to us. That seals this fight, as Snorlax, Boltund, and Heatmore all drop to a single Rock Slide right after. I make my way to Surchester and head to the boutique to upgrade our look a little bit, but something's still missing. I'm sure I'll figure it out soon. In the meantime, it's time for the 6th gym. Being my first time ever fighting Gordy, I had a little clue to what it is that he does or has. Well, he has a shell-smashing Barbaracle that can one-shot Katinka with Razor Shell, which is a physical move, so I think we've identified threat number 1. So he seems to always use Shell Smash turn 1, so I logically take this time to use Rock Polish. It essentially gives me a free +2 speed for future Pokemon, as I have to one-shot Barbaracle regardless with Rock Blast, meaning by setting up the Rock Polish first, it also lowers its defense with Shell Smash, giving me a better chance to do so. I then go for Curse against Shuckle, and it uses Power Split? Okay, we'll just roll with it and use Curse again. Rock Tomb doesn't do too much to me, and I use Rock Polish again, resetting the 2 Rock Tombs it ended up using. Rock Blast then hits 3 times, knocking Shuckle out, and in comes, well, would you looky here, it's a f***ing Stonjourner, a man of taste. And it uses Wonder Room. This move swaps all Pokemon's defense and special defense for 5 turns. This doesn't matter for most Pokemon, but for Stonjourner, it means his defense stat is now 20 in a gym full of rock types. We need to end this quick. Obviously, we knock his own Stonjourner out after that, and in comes his ace. It's his Gigantamax Colossal. I debated on not needing to Dynamax for this fight, and while we might not have, I'm not risking it with the Wonder Room being up. We both Dynamax, or he Gigantamaxes rather, and a Max Rockfall is enough to take it out in a single shot. Only 2 badges to go! Gordy gives us the Rock Badge and the Rock Uniform. Much better! Now we look like a Stonjourner trainer! We look like a mini Gordy! So, remember when I said Hop won't be easy forever? This was the fight I was thinking about. Long story short, this fight took me almost 45 minutes. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. The hail ends up doing more damage to us than we can take before we get set up comfortably to beat his team. And if that's not bad enough, his double has Growl. You heard me right, Growl. After the 6th gym, this man's using Growl, resetting my attack boosts from Curse. This fight was entirely luck-based. It had to go perfectly to win. After the 40 or so minutes of trying, we reached level 49. I gave Katinka the King's Rock I picked up a while back and used Rock Blast to get double to healing range. I then take this turn to use Rock Polish, preparing to use a Curse. But I can't Curse in front of double since it uses Growl. Rock Blast once again takes it down to red, but Growl lowers my attack, which can be run ending. I'm Growl after the 6th gym. I use Curse, while the hail ends up taking double out. In that time, I ended up getting to +2 defense and up to +1 attack, as double thankfully did not use Growl as it went down. At this point, we're sitting at 107 hit points, and he still has his whole team left, with the main threat being Pincurchin. Rillaboom comes out, and I go for Rock Blast. This needs to take it out in a single turn or flinch it. But luckily, for me, we took it out in one shot. After the aforementioned Pincurchin comes out, again, I have to finish it in one turn, or flinch it. Because if we do not, Bubble Beam will knock us out in a single shot. It's happened, but luckily we take it out in one shot. Snorlax takes 2 Rock Blasts, but the second one missed, and the hail's wearing us down rapidly. And then I missed Rock Blast again! After 40 minutes, I finally had the winning run in my sights. But Rock Blast missed twice in a row. It's a 10% chance to miss. The hail might end up knocking us out before we can finish this fight. We end up leveling to level 50 as his final Pokemon comes in. And it's Corviknight. If we don't knock this out in one shot, it's over for us. Rock Blast once, twice, and that's all she wrote. The hail takes us down to 1 HP. And Rock Blast connects, finishing the fight. Oh my god, I was shaking. It's over. Oh god, this fight was the worst fight in the whole run. I make my way to Spikemuth and face Marnie again. With Curse and a swagger from her Scrafty, we're able to beat her in just 2 tries. 7th gym time, baby! It's the Dark-type gym versus Piers! We go into it at level 53, and he leads with his Scrafty. It seems to always use Fake Out on the first turn, making my Rocky Helmet most useful here. But the problem is it has Sand Attack, making this fight almost entirely luck-based. I can't focus on that though. I need to Curse up and make certain every Pokemon only requires a single shot, as his Skuntank has Snarl, a special move. We're at +3 attack, +4 defense, -2 accuracy, and -2 speed after a handful of Curses and Rock Polishes. But I take this turn to finish Scrafty off, as I've got a plan. He always seems to go into Obstagoon next, and this thing almost always uses the move Obstruct. So I use that turn to use my final Rock Polish. But it doesn't use Obstruct! It went for Counter! That's terrifying! I'm not risking Obstruct or another counter, so I use Curse one more time, and then it goes for Throat Chop. With my defense where it is, it does little to nothing, and I use Rock Polish one final time, and I'm finally in the position to finish Piers off. Rock Blast ends Obstagoon, and Katinka learns Heavy Slam. That's more accurate than Rock Blast, and with our accuracy drop, I think we might need it. In comes Malamar, and I internally panic. What if this thing has Topsy-Turvy? It'll flip my whole world upside down, and I'd like to take a minute just sitting right here to think about that, but with great fear, I use Heavy Slam, and it does indeed connect, taking Malamar down, and his final Pokemon, the main threat, a Skuntank with a special attack. If I do not hit this, it's done. Heavy Slam misses, but it used Toxic. We still have one more chance. Heavy Slam connects and finishes Skuntank off with a critical hit. But the aftermath, no! Oh, but thankfully we live the aftermath and get our 7th badge, the Dark Badge from Piers. Only one more to go! After leaving Spike Myth, I go back to Magnolia's lab and grab the Choice Band, which definitely will come in handy. That Choice Band actually allows me to one-shot all of the double battles with the gym trainers for the 8th gym with Rock Slide, only leaving Rahan left until we have all 8 badges. But that's the problem. Rahan was not going to be possible at level 55. This was the first part of the game where I truly needed to go train. This fight was just not happening. His Sandaconda uses Glare and has Earth Power, which almost always knocks me out in a single shot. It came to my attention I've been relying on Curse for a long time, but there are better options out there now. I get Katinka all the way to level 63 and devise a strategy for an easy win. I gave her an Guave Berry for some healing and taught her the moves Iron Defense and Body Press. I could not comfortably raise my attack because Flygon would lower it with Breaking Swipe. And if I took Flygon out, then Sandaconda would take me out. But I don't need my attack for Body Press. By getting to +6 defense with Iron Defense, I'm hardly taking any damage, and Body Press will act as if I'm at +6 attack, because Body Press uses your defense instead of your attack. This allows me to one-shot Gigalith, Sandaconda, his Gigantamax Duraludon, and his Flygon, without even needing my berry. I wish I did that sooner. After reaching Winden, it's time for the finals! With our newly found Iron Defense Body Press strategy, things are looking up. We cleared through Marnie and Hop with no problems at all, without even needing to Dynamax. And then after scaling Rose Tower, we fight off against Oleana. I was worried this could go very wrong, since she has a lot of special attackers. But Rock Slide took Frostlass out in a single shot, and we took a Hex fairly okay. But my Lodic was my biggest fear. We needed to flinch it with Rock Slide, which I did the first try, and then we cleared the rest of her team out from there. We're getting strong, almost reaching level 70. Now we need to fight some gym leaders again. But instead of Opal, it's Stonjourner's biggest enemy, Bede. We can't Iron Defense Body Press our way through this one. We need to get to his Gigantamax Hatterene with enough HP remaining to take one hit from it, so we can two-shot it. After a few tries, we managed to two-shot Mawile, one-shot both Gardevoir and Rapidash, and take a Max Mindstorm from the Gigantamax Hatterene to secure the win. Next up, we have the 3 gym leaders who cost us the most problems during this adventure. Ironically, it's Nessa, Bee, and Rahan. Thankfully, Nessa this time around wasn't a threat. We've come a long way since Hulberry, and we're able to one-shot Golisopod, Barracuda, Seaking, Pelipper, and once again two-shot Dreadnought. Bee's Hawlucha is capable of dealing massive damage to Katinka using high jump kick, but it missing, coupled with the Rocky Helmet damage, allowed me to comfortably set up 3 Iron Defenses and sweep her team down with Body Press. And Rahan was much easier this time as well, being in a single battle. I Rock Slide Torkoal and use Flygon as an Iron Defense opportunity, dropping Flygon, Goodra, Turtonator, and Duraludon all in a single shot. Now it would be time for us to face Champion Leon, but Chairman Rose interrupts. So we go stomp his steel types in the power plant with the good old Body Press and capture Eternatus, because why not? It's now time for Champion Leon. Can a single Stonjourner handle Leon? I threw myself at this fight for over an hour, and it looked incredibly grim. He leads with his Aegislash, who sometimes likes to use King's Shield on the first turn. This would prove key in defeating him. But almost every other time, he would just use Flash Cannon. Stonjourner can't beat Aegislash in a single shot without Dynamaxing, and Flash Cannon tears Katinka down in one shot, every single time. I trained up just a tiny bit, but I did not want to overlevel. I went up just a little bit, being 74, and I hatched a plan. I gave Katinka the white herb I found in the wild area, and I used Curse on the very first turn. This would give me +1 attack and defense, and my speed would stay neutral as the herb would reset it. This entire strategy relied entirely on Aegislash using King's Shield on turn 1. If it didn't, we would lose this fight immediately. I would then have to Dynamax Katinka and use Max Quake from the move Stomping Tantrum. This would allow me to boost my special defense and one-shot Aegislash. This would prove key in winning this fight. Haxorus always seemed to come out next and use Earthquake. It doesn't do much, and Max Quake is enough to one-shot Haxorus as well. So now we're at +2 special defense. And after that, he always seemed to send out Inteleon. It has to use the move Tearful Look. If not, we lose this fight. And it does indeed use Tearful Look, dropping my attack back to neutral. I now max Rockfall, summoning the Sand and knocking out Inteleon. With +2 special defense and the Sand boosting my special defense by 50%, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Dragapult comes out as our Dynamax ends. With all of this, can we take a Shadow Ball? If not, I don't know what to do. But we do take a Shadow Ball. Quite well, actually. I then use Rock Polish because it will allow me to comfortably outspeed everything, and use Stone Edge to one-shot Dragapult, who we now outspeed. Next up is Mr. Rime, who also goes down to a single Stone Edge, which we thankfully hit. And only one Pokemon remains. It is Leon's ace, his number one, his pride and joy. It is his Gigantamax Charizard. This is it. We are level 75. It is level 65. Can Stonjourner beat Pokemon Sword all by herself with no items in battle? Stone Edge says yes as we connect and end Leon's unbeatable streak. We just beat Pokemon Sword, only using a single Stonjourner in battle. And we weren't even over-leveled for only having one Pokemon. Wow, that run was something else. Going into it, I figured it would probably be fairly easy, but in the end, almost every single major battle gave me a problem, and each one took a lot of strategy to go ahead and figure out how we were going to do it. But I still love Stonjourner, and I hope I introduced him to a lot of people that didn't really know what he was like, and hopefully a lot of you guys really like him now too. If you enjoyed this video, it would really mean a lot to me if you went ahead and clicked that like button down below, turned it from gray to blue. It helps the channel out a ton, and just go ahead down below, comment anything you thought about the video, anything at all. It helps out also a ton, and if you want to see more videos like this in the future, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell to be notified of all future uploads for this channel as a whole. And again, if you wanted to see another video like this, I've got the payday video that I talked about at the start of the episode. You can go ahead and check that out right over here. If you like Pokemon Challenge videos, this channel normally focuses primarily on challenge Let's Plays, like Wedlock challenges, also using no items in battle. So if you are interested in that sort of thing as well, I highly recommend this series right here as well. So with all that out of the way, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys in the future. Thank you so much for watching!